actually, honestly, we're recording now. You and I actually have a dynamic and a chemistry that I think would be fun to stream. I worry about some groups and stuff, and I don't want to make some people put on the spot on camera and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But like, I think that like you and I would actually just be lovely. Um,
Hmm.
but I also don't want to put that on you. Um,
Well, I appreciate that. It's a very nice thing to say. Thank you.
yeah. That's what like I try to be very specific. Like I don't want to do anything that would I don't want to just put everybody on stream, and I don't want to pass up the chance, like I'm a content creator and stuff. And then like when we were
Yeah.
starting, I'm like, because I thought about like my first thought was, oh, what if we let Val watch, which is my thought for a lot
Hmm.
of things. And
Yeah.
then I was like, actually I'd be okay with the group watching. And then I was like, um actually be okay if anybody watched. And then I was like, okay, that might be. So then I started to go through that, and then that was
Hmm.
you're good. You're good role
Yeah.
player is the gist of this. um
Well, thank you.
let's go through the rigmarole one more time as you get into Foundry and you get into all of this.
Hmm.
Safety cards in the game. You can use them at this point. I'm pretty sure that I would need to use them before you do. You are a freak, but you do have them. They are allowed to you. um you are able to communicate those. This goes for about 2 hours. It may end shorter if we agree um, that it organically is just more satisfying to end at a certain point before the 2 hour mark. And then if it does, I will reimburse you or discuss reimbursing you for the time that was not fulfilled. At any point, you can disembark, cancel the session if you're uncomfortable, or if you have anything that you want to say. For now, um, explicitness and sexuality will not um, be on the table. They will fade to black. Although apparently
Hmm.
I've had requests for extremely explicit sessions, and that's being discussed. So I don't know if that's a thing you want to talk about later, but that's a thing we could talk about. And now I'm realizing I'm recording this part. So hi everybody on the internet who saw this. Apparently I do porn now.
Sign up for their OnlyFans.
Also, I have an OnlyFans. I was I worked for Square Enix once. Now I do this. Now I pretend to be a dragon eating out non-existent women.
I mean, that sounds like a hell of an improvement.
My life's amazing. My life is fantastic. Um, do you have any questions, anything like that before we get started?
Nope, I'm pretty sure I know what I'm getting into, and I'm excited on what's in store.
I feel like there's a path where this is the horniest one we've done so far, which is wild. Um, given how the other ones, were, and that this one's a dog. Like I know that's like a lot, but I genuinely see that timeline being a possibility. Um, and let's begin.
Mhm.
I want you to tell me what Casper looks like and where he is right now before all of this, because there will be an immediate update, but I want to know more. So if you
Mhm.
would be so kind as to share this with me.
Yeah. So Casper is what I call a domestic style gnoll. He is this big, muscly, fluffy, extremely fluffy,
Mm-hmm.
white canine who is also an albino. So he's got this sunburnt nose, he's got pink eyes, but he tries to negate some of that damage on his skin and his eyes or the sensitivity by wearing some sunglasses and by usually having a lot of fur. He his original occupation, or at least what he tried to do, is he tried to be a therapy dog, but unfortunately he failed the classes because he has a high prey drive.
You made a
So,
himbo werewolf, is what you
oh yes,
did.
absolutely. I told you. Um, his outfit or his usual attire after he dropped out from therapy dog school was he decided to kind of wander around as a sailor. So he actually wears this kind of very cartoony sailor outfit, very reminiscent of Donald Duck.
Absolutely perfect. And since this will be viewed by other people, please note before the session I told Thyme that I was well aware that Casper is just a silly goodest boy to like 96%, 4% of the population. 6% is like, okay, I get it. Where is he right now? On his day-to-day, on his average day?
Where he is right now probably was he always jumps on ships. He usually tries to sign up for crews because he is looking for work, and sooner or later the crew unfortunately gets tired of him and drops him off at the next port. So this is one of those cases where he has been disposed of by the crew that he was with, and he's now at a random port. And he's either looking for another ship to kind of hop on and to follow, or just looking for work in general in the docks. He's usually pretty good at finding a job. They usually kind of look at him and go, "Wow, this guy is really cute, and he's a really big doof. Maybe he could do something." But
maybe he can lift a thing.
Yeah, he can lift a thing.
Yeah. I think at this point you're down. Let me change the music a little bit. You're down from the you're down at the port. You're finishing this job, and as you go, what is Casper's favorite food?
Casper's favorite food is swordfish.
Swordfish. You are here and you're seeing and smelling all of the salt, the sea salts, the fresh air. You're all of the people around talking, someone bumping into you and just going, "Oh, sorry," looking up at you, like, "Oh," and then just sort of moving along the way. There's stands selling all of this food. I assume he has a big appetite. I assume this is a man that eats.
Oh yes, absolutely.
You see a stand with fillets, swordfish, and all kinds of other seaside treats for sale. And as you approach this, you hear a crash in the alley behind this shop. Behind this, there's like the stands, and then there's like the building and an alley behind. You hear a crash, and you hear this woman call out, and just, "Can somebody help me? Please, can somebody help me?" You hear this sound, and this man looks over. This person goes over and goes, "All right, the guards will take care of that. You wanted the swordfish? This is 5 copper if you'd like that, or 5 silver if you'd like."
He definitely had like this little coin pouch purse thing, this little leather pouch that he had, and he was going to start counting, but he's still looking in that alley where the cry out came from, and he kind of looks around to see if there are any actual guards patrolling the docks, because last he didn't see any when he docked.
You don't see any guards here right now, and the guy at the shop looks at you and goes, "I mean, the guards will show up eventually. It's just it's a dangerous place, but you gotta mind your own, otherwise you're gonna get pulled into trouble too."
He's going to toss the leather pouch at him. Be like, "Keep the fish for me. I'll be back."
Okay, I'll keep. Sorry, what's your name? As you head off. You head off, and you go into the alleyway, and you see this alley with this person thrown against the wall on the ground, bleeding out. And you see them there, and you don't see anybody else around. What do you do?
Does it smell like there's blood in the air?
Yes, immediately yes.
Oh no, okay. He's going to approach the body on the floor. And starts like sniffing to see if like there's any like actively bleeding, or maybe if they're breathing, anything like that.
You go to sniff the body on the floor, and when you do, you see that this man is missing This man is bleeding out from the neck, slumped there like a mannequin. You smell blood pooling around him, and you realize for a moment. Actually, what do you do? I have an idea, but what do you do?
He definitely seems like he's just dead, isn't he? But
He's definitely
person who
weakened.
was the person, or was the voice of the person who cried out, was that feminine or male?
Feminine.
Okay, so this is a different person.
This thought occurs to you, and you feel the presence of something, the prickling of your hairs across you as this shadow drops behind you. And you hear, "Hi!" And everything fades to black.
Oh no, I'm in danger.
Not anymore. Next thing you know, you awaken somewhere very, very different.
Exciting.
For those watching later, I have changed Time's map to be a red cathedral. And I think they were responding to that more, that the you wake up somewhere else different. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what Time's into. I don't want to speak for them. I don't know what Time's into after 3 sessions of building erotic situations for you. So you awaken in this cold, dark room with red candlelight and moonlight shining in through the tall stained glass windows. You hear footsteps. You smell death and cobweb and decay. And you hear this voice go, "All right, wake up! Wake up! Come on." He was a good boy. And what's up?
I was like, oh, my head. Where? This
No.
is the dock.
That'll happen. And you see standing in front of you this woman with pale skin, red eyes, red hair, smirk, in a crimson dress. Just an absolutely deviant, cruel grin. Mawkishly playful. "Oh, good to see you're awake. I thought maybe I caved your skull in. That would have been a shame. I only get one, you know." And she walks back. And as she walks back, you see this other woman, tall, powerful, imposing, and restrained in her movements. Pale skin, long black hair, general's uniform with a purple cape. The younger woman in red looks and says, "This is the Countess Strahd von Zorovich. But don't worry about her so much." Strahd looks in the other direction and says, "This is the one that you chose?" The woman in red says, "This is the one that I wanted, Strahd. You said I get to pick one, and this is the one that I picked. Is that a problem?" The Countess says, "Anastrasya, my dear, you deserve the world and 1,000 broken bodies at your feet." The Countess strokes Anastrasya's chin, and Anastrasya just sort of chirps happily, just Countess says, "But we'll start with one. If this is the one that you picked," and the Countess looks at you.
She's going to see that Casper has his tongue sticking out.
In what way? What does that represent?
In just a really bareheaded dog way.
Mm-hmm. And it goes, if this is the one that you want, then this is it. You have one. You two have fun. If they expire, let me know. Or Ludmilla. The Countess makes her way for the door, and Anastrasya goes, I'm not letting Ludmilla have what's left of Casper. Countess says, very well. And heads out. Anastrasya turns to you, runs the wrinkles from her dress, and goes, now, let's do introductions. She walks over, kneels down, lifts up your chin. She goes, hi. I'm Anastrasya. I'm the one who beat you senseless and brought you here. You're Casper. You're the noble knight who finds his way into alleyways and dumb situations. Yes, you are.
I'm not a knight, I'm a sailor.
Knight in spirit, you want to help people. I don't know, you seem interested in helping people, made your way here. Everybody else looked for the guards. Everybody else waited. Why did you come back there?
Well, I've been to a lot of docks before. They should have more guards patrolling them, but they don't usually. And
Well,
that's why there's a lot of thieves and things going on over there.
They also should hire better guards. Because there were only I only had to get to 2 or 3 before I got to you. They're really not that good. Sorry about
Maybe
that.
they should work on their hiring process.
Mm-hmm. Right?
That being said, you were the one who knocked me out.
Yeah.
You must be really strong. And he starts getting up off the floor.
You start to get up, and as you do, give me a strength check.
Okie dokie.
And let me send this your way.
Yeah.
Give me a strength check. DC 20.
I haven't been invited to a countess's place before. Oh.
You pull up, and immediately you feel yourself stopped. And for the first time, you feel an iron collar around your neck and a chain pulling you back. And
He's gonna reach up to the collar and just start touching it. When did this get here?
It is cold and hard and fashioned just for you. And Anastrasya looks and she goes, felt a little necessary. I thought that maybe when you woke up you might be the type that wanted to rip my face off or tear up in my throat. And she comes a little closer and goes, and let's have a little foreplay before the main show, right?
Why would I want to tear your throat out, though?
Good time. Besides, some people get very annoyed when they get kidnapped.
I've been kidnapped a few times, or at least that's what some people call it.
What do you call it?
Employment.
Are you employed right now by me, Casper?
I suppose so. I don't have any money anymore. I gave all my coins to that fisher, the fishmonger, but I never got my swordfish.
Oh, that's a shame. We should get you something to eat. What are you in the mood for?
Well, what do you like to eat?
Casper, what do you think should be done with criminals, thieves, murderers, the malicious, malfeasant?
Well, all the crimes you said are different levels. Thieves are usually pretty petty. Murderers are different. I don't know. I don't get myself involved with a lot of the legal jurisdictions and places. Mainly because I've definitely been on the wrong side of the law before.
So those don't bother you so much?
I think that it's above my pay grade.
You don't get paid. You're unemployed, little pup. You're just wandering and lost. So,
He looks really sad when she says that, like his ears go down. He's like, yeah. He doesn't want to admit that, yes, that is the case.
and she goes, "Oh, poor thing." And she comes over and strokes your chin. She goes, "Poor thing. As for what I ate, you deserve an answer. You've been so honest yourself." And she goes, "I have been cursed so terribly. The thirst for crimson and cruel." She smiles at you, and she says, "And when I was burdened with this curse, I thought that the most just and righteous way to deal with it was to consume the blood, the ichor of those who are wicked and cruel and selfish and vile. And that is how I began to feed. You strike me as someone with quite the beast within you."
Oh, you talked to the university, didn't you?
No, I just know somebody. I look at you and I think, what? And she puts her fingers in. I think, what is inside him? What would this university say?
Well, they would say that I was really good at my studies, but overall, training could not appropriately override instinct. At least that's what they told me. That was in the papers that they wrote.
Instinct. What is your instinct, you beast of a thing?
It depends. It seems like he is avoiding the answer to that question.
And she's gonna say, "What is your instinct towards me right now?"
His nose wiggles because he is trying to smell her to see if she does smell actively like blood.
She is going to lean in close, and she's going to put her hand around the back of your head and push your head closer to her own. And she's going to look and just go, "Take in the scent, Casper. Tell me what you think I am and what you think of me." And you can smell the dried red that you smelled at the docks. You can smell the salt of sorrow and the copper of blood wafting from her. She is hurt and she has drank. It is from her lips. It is from her chin, her throat, her bust and downward, because she has feasted. And you can smell this.
Like I said, his nose wiggles as he's kind of taking in the set, and it reminds him very vividly of obviously the scene in the alley. But his ears wiggle and he goes, "You remind me of one of the times that I went deep into the sea on one of the ships that I was temporarily with. It was a ship that sank. I don't know why the The captain mentioned something about the Sea of Monsters. There was some kind of bounty, but it smelled kind of like you do, like salt and blood and death.
You flatter a girl. Did you enjoy that smell?
It was intoxicating. When you surround yourself in blood, it does tend to kind of muddy the brain, muddy the thoughts. It's like you're drowning.
It's like you're drowning,
Mm-hmm.
but you want to drown. It's like you're being overwhelmed and losing sight of everything. But it's almost like your hands are clawed into the rules of this world, and against your own will, clutching, digging into them, breaking your fingernails to hold on to them. And that red and that salt and that scent comes out. And it's like you can just let go. Fall and keep falling into who you truly are. Casper, you describe this as intoxicating. When was the last time you were so joyfully intoxicated? And she's going to turn, and she is just going to, without even asking, lean back on Casper so that he basically either has to actively shove her off or let himself be her pillow. And she's gonna lean back deliberately, like this is a win-win. Either she antagonizes him, which Anastrasya win, or she gets to lay on a cuddle pillow. Like this is fine. So she sort of leans back. Have you seen the first Spider-Man movie with the Green Goblin and Spider-Man, the old one?
Yeah.
With, Peter. The way he sort of like casually slaps Spider-Man and sort of leans back, kind of thing. She's like, when was the last time you were so intoxicated? And she just leans on him.
Very sleepover. It kind of makes me laugh. He is not going to push her off, basically because there was definitely a ship where women were just like, I want to lay on you because you are basically just a giant fluffy thing.
Yeah, she's gonna lean up. She's gonna look up at him, and she's gonna I think she's gonna lean back and lean up at him. I try to get the visual right of it, and put her hand and stroke his face. And again, it's like 40% affection, 60% God, I hope he tears me apart for this.
Oh yeah. His I want to say that his ear twitches like in that way that animals do, where like if you touch it, it annoys them in some kind of small way, but they're not gonna move or anything. As he kind of thinks back, and he goes, the last time I was intoxicated. He kind of stares off into the distance a little bit. He is kind of observing like the cathedral itself because he does think that this place is interesting, especially because this was definitely not where he was before, and now he's obviously a captor.
He's vibing with it really well though. He's doing great.
Oh yeah. He's been handled by animal control before. This isn't exactly new. And
I gotta say, I thought I had a script in my head for how you go. You always zig when I think you'll zag, but it always makes sense. That's why I want to stream this. It's so good. By the way, I'm gonna message you something right now that I want to tell you that I think will amuse you. That I cannot have on a recording, but I think you'll find amusing. And
yes.
You got that vibe. You
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, that's absolutely where she is right now. If you're watching, you don't get to know.
Yeah, no, anyway. This is a secret. Anyway, so he's thinking back and he goes, I think the last time I was intoxicated was... Oh, that might have been... That was a long time ago. He looks really kind of, like, surprised by it, but, he was like, there was, I don't know if you know this about gnolls. Most people look at me and they think, they actually kind of think I'm a werewolf, a lycanthrope. But that's a misunderstanding. But I'm actually a gnoll. Most people don't think I am either, because it's understandable, they kind of look more, roughed up, they have a lot more scars, they have spots. But I don't know who my parents are, because we don't really have parents. We're generally made by hyenas.
Wait, made by
They eat.
hyenas?
They eat and eat and eat until they are completely engorged, and then they explode and turn into one of us. I am the result of overindulgence.
How is this both boring and incredible?
The last time I felt intoxicated was that I ended up in a conflict with a bunch of other gnolls, because I'm different. I've been called a city dog before, which doesn't make sense to me. I don't live in the city. But I look more like someone's pet than any wild creature.
No, you don't look like somebody's pet, Casper. You don't. And you feel your neck jerk as she grabs your chain and pulls her head down. You look like my pet, specifically. But go on. And she lets go of the chain.
What ended up...
What's up, Thyme?
He just call me out like that. Okay, back into the brain.
No, I listen. I can't play the piano and I can't play the harpsichord, but I can play Thyme with marvelous symphonic grace. Okay, I know you. Go on.
He coughs again, because it's just like, okay, that was not where that was going. And I think he does kind of start trying to lean away, because he goes like, well, I guess it was self-defense, but I didn't need to kill all of them. Hyenas...
No, shut up. This is actually interesting. How many did you kill? You actually said something interesting. How many did you kill?
He starts backing up.
No.
Or he's trying to back up away.
And she grabs the chain. She goes, no. Bad dog, answer me. How many did you end? How many did you tear apart?
Well, it was the whole... It was an entire enclave of gnolls.
She's gonna stand up to her full height, which isn't much, which is still shorter than you, but at this moment you're down on your knees or on the ground, so she is towering over you, and she's got the hand on the chain, and she goes, no, Casper. You're my pet now, and you're my pet for a reason, and I want to know exactly what I just adopted. How many people did you kill?
For that case, it was 25?
You are precious. You make me wish that my heart could beat it all so that it could race faster when I hear about this. And she leans forward and goes, why did you kill them? They disagreed with you? They were rude to you? You felt like it.
Well, they thought, they thought I was weak because I was a city dog.
No, you're not weak. You're not weak. Come here. Come here.
If she pulls on that collar, it's gonna do that thing where it makes the dog's neck like
Mhm.
roll up, so it makes their cheeks look fat.
Mhm. Crawl to me.
And he's gonna very reluctantly get closer.
She's gonna look down and she goes, "You're mine. I don't keep the weak. So we're gonna make sure that no one ever mistakes you for weak again." How does that sound?
I don't need to prove anything. Do you?
Oh no, I'm convinced. It's those
He's
assholes.
not sure how to feel about that answer.
It's those assholes out there, those people, and there are a lot of really bad, stupid people out there. Idiots and assholes, often the same thing, who would misjudge you, misjudge me, or just go around whining and complaining and droning on when they could just be a little bit more fun. There are people out there that are less helpful as people and more fun as, I guess you'd consider them a chew toy. There are people out there whose wickedness, whose selfishness would mean that it would be a net good, an act of kindness to the rest of the world if you were to break them, snap them, rend their limbs, and bite into their veins. There are people out there for whom breaking, for whom making to weep and beg, it would be a blessing to the world. People who you could unleash that instinct of yours, the fury of yours, and smell that red and that salt and that copper. And everybody would thank you. They would think that you are not some city dog, but a hero. You get up.
He's gonna slowly get up off the floor.
As you stand up, she stops you right when your head is lined up with the top, with her head, and she whispers and she goes, "Now who's ready to be a good boy?"
I can be good. And he starts very slowly wagging his tail.
I'm gonna do a little bit of a time skip. Is there anything that you want to do more in this scene?
No, I don't think so. At least not with, not in this case.
Are you having fun?
Yes. I had no idea what we were getting into with this particular pairing.
I read your description of Casper and your interest in Anastrasya, and I was like, there's a collar involved. There has to be. And I don't even fully know. I didn't fully understand Casper's personality. A lot of this is surprising me, but I know immediately how to play off of it. Sometime later, a man is brought into the throne room of Castle Ravenloft in chains. His hands are bound. He is thrown to the floor, and Anastrasya looks on from the throne, leaning back decadently, her hands around the leash to Casper.
Mhm.
She goes, "Thank you, Rahadin. That will be all very well done." Rahadin looks at this tall elven man with a scar on his face, looks at Anastrasya and says, "I don't answer to you, and I don't need your praise." And she goes, "No, but the Countess promised me a gift, and this is part of it. So thank you, Rahadin. Very good job."
I think Casper's gonna, like, Rahadin's gonna hear this thumping of Casper's tail against the throne that Anastrasya is sitting in.
Mm-hmm.
Says, "Thank you, Rahadin." He has no idea who this man is.
Rahadin looks... This is either not going to be cute or it's going to be amazing, depending on how you feel. Is going to look at Casper for a second and just briefly imagine what a weakening dog whine would sound like in his gallery of sounds for a moment. And then just turn and leave. I felt bad narrating that, but like, how can you not? Like, that has to be... Someday I will kill 2 dogs in your honor. So anyway, Anastrasya looks at this man and give me 1 second.
Mhm.
I'll be honest, at some point I just literally just stopped looking at the clock because I'm like, I'm just doing this.
Just doing stuff.
I don't know. Sometimes you gotta put one of your clients on a collar and call him a good boy. You know?
Yeah. Exactly.
She's gonna come over to him. She's gonna say, "Get up." And the man starts to get up and she goes,
Casper also gets up.
"No, not fine." "What's your name?" And he goes, "You're not the Countess. What has happened?" She goes, "Oh my god, no, I'm not the Countess. Did you think you were really worthy of seeing her? God, you're not even worthy of seeing me. You're a dog treat. Now shut the fuck up. What's your name?" He goes, "Do you bid me be quiet? Or do you bid my..." And she goes, "I will rip the soul from you if you keep being so clever. And that will be a shame for both of us, because I want this to be more fun than that. So let's keep it a little bit more fun, okay? Smile. Name." He goes, "My name is Petra." And she goes, "Okay, Petra." And she looks at Casper like she's dunking on the name somehow, like she's rolling rolling her eyes at the name. Like, no basis for this, but just like, what a pathetic name. And she looks at Petra and goes, "What did Raha..." And she walks over to him, lets go of Casper's leash, seemingly accidentally, but just lets go of it, and comes over to Petra and goes, "And why? What were you caught doing this day?" He says, I wasn't doing anything. And she just takes her hand and just puts her hand on his arm. Her claws extend and she just drags down, and you see the red going down the arm, and you feel the red hit your nostrils. And she goes, "What were you doing?" He goes, "I was stealing copper and silver from a household." She goes, "How many were in that household, Petra?" And he says, "Man, his wife, and 2 daughters." "Did they need that money to live and eat, Petra?" And he says, "Yes." And she goes, "So, Petra, an argument could be made that you were trying to starve children. Would that be?" And he goes, "I wasn't trying to." She goes, "Oh my god, I am so not talking to you." Bares her fangs. "You are a prop and a point. I don't need to debate morality with you. You're trying to steal from children. Rahadin is pathetic in many ways, but he doesn't make mistakes on topics like this. If you're here, the jury's turned in a verdict. Your line is, please, please don't kill me even though I'm a pathetic pile of shit. Memorize it." She grabs the back of his head, the hair, pulls him back, and he groans in pain. She looks at Casper, and she says, "Now here's a man that, if he is to let live, is going to steal and starve children by his own confession." He says, "I did it," and she just pulls it back and goes, "Ah!" And she goes, "Casper, sweet, do you eat flesh like the hyenas before you? Do you gorge yourself on the skin of others?"
I've gorged.
You've gorged? So
When
sweet.
I have the money for it.
Today's payday, my good boy. Because I'll tell you something right now. I'll make you an offer. You satisfy yourself on the breaking sorrows of these wicked and cruel, and you will be fed, and I will keep you fed. And if you don't, you'll be hungry for a little while. Poor pup. Petra's right here. You're off your collar. You're off your leash. I'm sure if you wanted, you can crash through the windows here, flee this place. Or you could try and tear me down, which honestly sounds kind of fun. But I want it to be your choice. She steps back, and she almost makes a point to stand where she would be defenseless. And she goes, "Feed or flee? Your call."
He's gonna pick up the chain off the floor of the other end of the leash and kind of hold it in one of his hands. And he looks over to Anastrasya and goes, "To my satisfaction." And he points at himself with the other end of the chain to his chest. He pokes his chest with it.
Yes. What's that now?
Okay. And he's going to approach the Petra, the prisoner person. And he is a 6 foot tall, ghostly white looking beast of a man And he looks down and is like, which is your dominant hand?
It's my right hand.
Okay. And he's going to grab you said it was the right hand,
Right
right?
hand.
Yeah, he's gonna grab the left hand. And he's gonna bite it. Like, to the point where he's trying to take that hand away.
So, like, all the way here, like, wrist up.
Yep, exactly.
You turn. Hold on 1 second. Right here. You bite into the wrist. And he just. And the red splashes out onto the floor. And Anastrasya looks and goes, yay! And he just looks and just, I've never hurt you. I've never done anything to you. And Anastrasya goes, oh, you hurt those people. She goes, you hurt all of them. Besides, no one's talking to you. And she's just going to take it. She's going to lean into him and shove him. And in his pain and on his knees, he can't support himself. He just falls over onto the ground, cradling his wrist. The red spills out. She looks up at Casper and goes, now, how does that taste?
The finger bones are crunching as she can see, like, all the fangs in his teeth, and, like, his mouth is now covered in red. And he goes, finger food.
Oh, good. Look at you. Look at you. This is important. Do you feel bad?
He's still crunching a bit before he just fully swallows whatever is in it and goes, yeah,
What'd you say?
I'm satisfied.
Satisfied. Petra. She's gonna lean down and she's gonna rip one of Petra's sleeves, and she goes, you poor thing, you must be in so much pain. Shh. And he's just shivering, and she takes and starts wrapping the stump and around like tourniquet, and she goes, you know, before I was this and before I was in the castle, don't black out, I'm talking to you. When I was this and I was in the castle, I was a defender of others, and I protected people, so I know a lot about treating a wound. Here, just stop wanting to, don't give me that look. I'm telling you a story. She types it up, and she goes, we can take care of it so that you don't die of blood loss. I learned my lesson. I won't ever steal again, I swear. And she goes, what? Oh my god. You're talking like this was a punishment, and like you're leaving this place. He looks up at her and she goes,
that's gonna perk his ears.
and she looks at Casper and smiles for a minute, knowing she got attention, and she looks back at Petra and goes, no, you're not leaving. You just made my good boy very happy. So you are going to stay here and serve a purpose for a good while. Let's get you to the prisons. Does Casper interrupt or interject or at all rebel against this plan to take him to the prisons? Because I might do a little bit of a time skip.
No. He was going to act if she was going to strike him down there.
Ah.
Basically, he believes that in this, even if it is brutal, he did deliver a punishment. If there was an additional punishment of, like, rotting in the prison, whatever, after, that's different. But if it was punishment for stealing. Not only did we make this man suffer by removing his hand, but also we're going to just straight up kill him now. That's where Casper's like, okay, the payoff did not fit the crime here.
She's gonna pick up.
At least from what he knows.
She's gonna pick up Casper. She's gonna pick up Petra, and she's gonna look at Casper and go, "Tomorrow you can have the right hand, or maybe one of the legs. What would you prefer?"
I'm satisfied. I don't need more.
Oh, but look at him. Look at him. And she shakes this man like a doll. And he just, and he whimpers.
Oh.
And she goes, he's already forfeit. This is self-defense. And that's honestly a lot more justice than I normally give most people. I specifically
I want you to realize in this moment, Ben, you shaking this man has suddenly distracted Casper. He's eye-locked now.
Are you like that? She says. And a smile curls up on her face. And she pulls Petra forward to her. And she goes, "Never mind, Petra, I've decided there's going to be a trial." Because the trial, she goes, "Oh yes, I mean it. I mean it. And I'm not really a woman of my word. In fact, I lie a lot. So much. But I'm going to do you the respect, Petra, of being very honest this one time." She looks to me quickly to Casper to make sure that he's paying attention. And then she's going to look to Petra for a moment and go, "Here's your trial. I'm going to let you go right now. And you can run downstairs into the castle doors and across the bridge. And if you can get across the castle bridge, I will leave you alone for the rest of my unlife. In fact, I will ask Rahadin and the Countess to leave you alone too. They don't answer to me, but I'll certainly try." He goes, "If I don't," she goes, "Oh, sweet. Don't think like that. I believe in you," she says, with just dripping with sarcasm.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, "We have a deal?" He goes, "Do I have a choice?" She goes, "No, I was informing you that we have a deal." And she shoves him towards the door, towards the pathway downstairs, and she goes, "Go, run." And she takes Casper's chain and pulls it close. And this man darts down the hall, panicking, moaning, and sometimes shouting in pain as he cradles his hand. She looks at him. And she goes, "Casper, my sweetest boy." Does he say anything?
It's taking a moment where he's still watching this man, like, stumble and run away. So his eyes kind of stay on him before a moment, before darting to Anastrasya, darting back to the man, because it's like the man is leaving, and then finally looking at her fully. Like, he was distracted.
And she lets go of the chain and she goes, "Fetch."
He is...
What would Casper like to
going
do? You don't have to.
I know, I'm trying to figure that. I know. I'm trying to figure out if, in this moment, if his prey drive is going to take control or not. Because, again, I flavor it as his rage. That is his rage.
Yeah. There's no wrong answer for you here.
Yeah. I want to do that. That's what I want to do. Oh yeah, he's going. He's going for it.
You diving? You're chasing? What helped you decide?
Low roll.
I'm about to say you really had a die roll decides energy going on right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's what I did. I rolled a d20. Low roll is that he succumbs to prey drive. High roll, he is able to, quote unquote, fight against it. fight against that instinct.
I love this. You chase after. Do you want to describe this, or do you want to just sort of almost a fade to black kind of thing?
I can describe a little bit of it. He starts launching very much like any werewolf media that you see, where it's like all fours scrambling, claws are skidding against the marble. There's a point where he's going down the stairs as the Pedros is like, and but in the corner of the stairs is a point where the leash ends up hooking onto like one of the not the banisters, but like one of those pillars, and he's just like the chain choking him for a moment. Petra buys a little bit more time, starts running further and further. Casper breaks the chain, not necessarily breaks the leash, but breaks the pillar that the chain is caught on. Starts scrambling again until finally like launching from like one of the higher ends of the stairwell and just pouncing with open maws as the man screams.
When Casper...
And how's Anastrasya hearing that?
Anastrasya hears this and just goes, I love him. That idiot thing is perfect. She sits there and lays down on the throne room floor. No, she's going to casually follow down, and she's going to sit on the steps and watch Casper mauling this man. And she's just kind of gonna have like her...
She definitely sees him. She definitely sees him just ragdolling this man about. It's just like, you would be surprised that he'd be able to do this with a whole ass man, but it's just like absolutely Bethesda ragdoll physics.
Yeah, I think she's sort of sitting there almost super casually, like legs spread, hands on knees, just like, watching, like, you know, sitting on the stairs, just like, this is good. This is better than I thought it was. And she's like thinking, and she's like, she goes, wow, Countess was right. It is fun to get somebody to do this. Watching. And then she goes, and is he gonna eat this man?
No. He said before he was satisfied. He has no intentions of eating this man. This is just, at this point, this man has turned into a chew toy. Quite literally.
And she's going to...
That won't restrict his bite or anything. This man is gonna die.
Oh yeah, no, this man, I think he's dead. He gone. And she's gonna go. You're gonna go. Are you having fun, Caspi? You having a good time? I didn't hear that.
Just a whole bunch of wild animal noises.
And okay, that didn't come through, but I'm so glad for that. And she goes, oh, look at you, you beautiful feral thing. And she goes and reaches for the chain, and she goes, are you gonna stop me from this? And she's gonna take
That's it. He's distracted. He's trying to, like, now he's trying to tear open, the body, either via the flesh or the clothes or whatever. He's trying to grab something like any other dog would to try and just get a hole in.
Yeah, and she's just gonna go, don't let me stop you on that. You have your fun. She's gonna grab the chain, and she's gonna go, God, there is a beast to you. Are you the nice sweetheart that gives people your gold, or are you the feral thing that tears people apart? One of those is an act, and I am not sure which. I think this is good. And she's gonna pull... She's not gonna interrupt, but she's gonna, like, come close and, like, sort of, like, stroke his hair and, like, caress him and just look almost with awe as he tears apart this person.
He will start to growl when he sees her hand. Because he thinks that she is trying to grab his thing now.
And she goes, She looks, her eyes glisten. Her eyes gleam with joy, and she goes, maybe I am. Maybe I'm trying to take it away from you. Uh-huh. Wouldn't that be the worst?
He's gonna start moving the like any other dog, like playing keep away. Just like, no, this is mine, and starts like dragging the body away and himself away.
And she's gonna go, no, it's mine. And she's gonna grab the body, grab one of the legs, and go, what are you gonna do about it?
He is going to release and bite her arm.
She lets out this laugh, this incredible laugh, as the red comes out. She goes, oh my god, yes, thank you. Nobody else ever has the balls to do that. But I do have to make sure that we know who's who in this. And she's gonna tear and claw up and slash him across the face with her claws, and tear him across.
And he will try to ragdoll.
I want you to roll an athletics check on your sheet while I roll one on mine.
Okie dokie. Let's see, athletics.
You got a 19. Ooh. Plus 7 is 26. You take this. And what is ragdolling on Anastrasya?
It is definitely dislocating her shoulder as, like, he is trying to fling her about. It is very wildly shaking his head, and like any other, like, TikTok or YouTube or whatever short of a dog just absolutely wildly shaking their head with a toy in their mouth and just going at it.
You shake her, and she screams in this mix of joy and pleasure and fear and pain. She's not even sure which is which, and you fling her behind you, and she lands and falls. And just like as you turn and dive towards her more, I don't know if we've covered this next part in the main campaign. I think we have. She reaches out, and you see part of her wrist open up, and this tendril whip out. A tendril of almost like a vine with thorns all around it. And she wraps and pulls along his neck and pulls him forward. And pulls him so forward, let me give you a dex save to see if you keep your balance or fall to the floor.
I do get advantage with dex saves.
Yeah, go for it. Roll for kink.
Man, even with advantage, that was awful.
You rolled a highest roll of 8. She pulls you forward, landing forward on your chin and face and everything. You slam to the ground in front, the red all over you, and almost dragging you through some of the blood. And she goes, that was very fun. And she sees blood pouring from the sides of her, and her dress ripped. And she goes, that was very fun. And you are so good at what you do, and I am so glad you're here, but we cannot forget who's in charge, little one. She goes,
character, very hot.
And she goes, you're amazing, Casper, and you are a beast. She comes over and she steps on your shoulder, and she goes, I don't ever want you to lose that violence or that frenzy inside of you. But Mommy's gonna make sure you use it the right way. We're going to fade. And let me ask you, the next time she brings you... One second. I'm messaging you a thing. And the next time she brings you a man who has killed 2 people after an argument with them,
Mm-hmm.
she has waited until Casper has not eaten for a couple days.
Mm-hmm.
She explains to Casper the situation and offers him a chance to feast once more. Does Casper do this again?
It's 2 people?
A man who killed 2 people in an argument.
Oh, a man who killed 2 people. Okay. Yes.
What does he take?
He takes the throat.
Anastrasya smiles gleefully as the red splashes across her face. And afterwards, she holds and gives a smooch in the side of Casper, going, "That was the best entertainment." A few days later, a woman that broke into Castle Ravenloft and tried to kill Anastrasya. She offers them to you. Do you feast?
Yes.
Where do you start?
Ankles.
How much of the body do you eat?
He eats after the ankles to basically make it so she can't move. He will eat 1 whole leg.
He screams into the night. The next person, a powerfully built man, sword and shield, swearing hellfire and fury upon the both of you. Do you continue this? And if so, do you have any sort of sport or game for this one?
For this one, I don't know if he would consume, but he does view it as a self-defense thing at the very least. As far as the game would be trying to tire them out. Very odd predator behavior of endurance. Instead of it being like a taking them down as quickly as possible, it's getting them tired and then going for the kill.
I submit to you
Mhm.
for your approval or disapproval
Mhm.
that over time you would receive different people with fewer and fewer justifications for why they deserve to die. Is there a point where Casper would hesitate? And if so, what point would that be? Where's the line?
The line is like the obvious answer is children.
Mhm.
And this includes teenagers. So even if they're like 18, 19, anything like that, he does draw the line at them.
Mhm.
He also does draw the line at the elderly.
Mhm.
As far as crimes, we've already seen him take the hand of thieves, he did not exactly enjoy the fact that he killed the first thief. He obviously did, but that was, again, failing his prey drive instinct. If he's given another thief, he would hesitate to fully kill. He always goes for the non-dominant hand first. That's the punishment.
So he remains interested in punishing.
Yes, he's fine with punishment because for him in this moment under Anastrasya, he's under the mentality of he's employed. It's slavery. He's employed, and his job is acting out as a deliverer of punishment from whatever legal system that Anastrasya has decided to do here. He knows that Countess Strahd van Zarovich is the count or the nobility of the land, delegating Anastrasya for justice and jurisdiction, and he is now in the new role of punishing or delivering equal punishment, essentially.
She looks, and at one point, she stops. She stops holding the collar, stops holding the leash. Has him. And over the days and the maulings and the cruelty, she says, "You are such a good boy. And you're very precious to me. I need you to keep that ferocity strong. Can you do that for me?"
I can stay strong. This is the longest I've ever been employed.
Employed.
Usually they kick me off the ship at this point, but there's no boat here, so...
So they can't. If you ever have a problem with any of this, you let me know, and you let me know the way that you let me know I wasn't to touch your toys on the first day. Agreed?
Okay. He does look like he feels bad about the toy thing. It's just like, that wasn't a toy. I think he is gonna say, it's like,
that wasn't a toy. I shouldn't have
Can you speak up, please?
done.
He said, that wasn't a toy. I shouldn't have done that.
Why?
Yeah, that's what
He wasn't a toy.
But why shouldn't you have done it?
We already gave him his punishment.
Punishments and justice are the laws given to us by the gods of righteousness and of goodness and of compassion. Hell, the gods of evil and of cruelty and sadism. They're the ones who demand justice and laws and punishment. Let me tell you a secret, little pup. And she's gonna almost gently put her fingers through the chains of the leash and pull him down. And she's gonna say, "The gods can't hear us here, so we can scream and revel all we want. And the philosophies and the notions of the good and the just are antiquated, hypothetical, and meaninglessly abstract. There is no one here to define them or enforce them. We are in the hell pits, and you may crawl out in any way that you see fit." She lets go of the chain. So if there's any part of you that simply wants to rip and tear, that part of you has more presence in this land than any god. Okay?
Okay. He doesn't look like he understands, but he says okay.
She's going to pull you close with the chain and put her hand and brush your chest, and she's going to go, "You have been so entertaining for me. What do you want this evening?"
out of all of the brides,
Mhm.
would be the one to, I suppose, indulge him on his more like sailor inclined habits. So like not tying or sailing or anything to do with water.
Escher would probably know more, but I don't know there's no ocean here, so I don't really know what would be
Mhm.
indulging. But I know
But there is a giant lake.
there is a giant lake. Escher probably. Valenta.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um.
Um,
Mhm.
but then his response is going to be like, "Can we go for another boat ride?"
I don't like the water most of the time, but let me see. Let me see what Valenta and I can make happen.
He's gonna wag his tail.
She's gonna let go of the chain, take her fingers out of the holes of the chains, and drape her fingers along them all the way to the end. Grab it
Mhm.
and go. Follow mommy. And she's gonna walk and lead him out of the room. What's that?
Is she close to his face when she does this?
Yes.
He's going to lick her face.
She looks. All right. She looks you up and down and goes, full of surprises. Let's see where this goes. But let's start with the ocean. Let's start with the lake. And she's gonna lead him to the stairs.
Mhm.
I feel like this is a fade out time, but is there anything that you want to add or do at this moment?
I don't think so, no. I think that the only thing I would add is mainly just a flavor description of, like, obviously as time's gone on and he has been performing these outrageous acts of justice,
Yeah.
if you want to call it that. His outfit has been more torn and tattered and stained to the point where he does not look like the sailor that she picked up after beating his ass in the alley prior.
I love this. That's what I was hoping for. What's up?
His glasses are long gone too because there's no sun. He doesn't get sunburned anymore.
I love this so much, and I think there's like a red stain on his fur that just is like stays there.
Mm-hmm. Especially on his mouth.
Yeah, absolutely. And over time, what other do you see any transformations happening to his personality over time?
No, not exactly. It goes back to his core beliefs is that he thinks that he is delivering an equal justice. He is currently employed, quote unquote, under Anastrasya, and she has set the expectations. And as long as it's not crossing those lines that had previously mentioned, where it's like targeting the especially vulnerable, essentially, then he doesn't necessarily have a concern.
I think over time she will try to break him a little more into trying to I think I've told you before, she was conditioned this way to enjoy violence more. She's trying to pass that on. And my question to you is, do you ever see her succeeding in lowering his standards?
No.
Over time, she keeps him her pet. And maybe in the future, he will bore her with his rigid morality or insult her by being more virtuous than she ever was. Or maybe in time he will just irritate her and she will have to move on. Or perhaps the game of tempting him, of trying to drive him feral with hunger, and bringing him this flesh and food. We'll continue. In D&D terms, what would you say his insight check is?
What his insight check is?
What is it? Does he have decent insight?
Oh, his insight is... Well, there's no modifiers, so...
+0, yeah.
It's just straight. Yeah.
I don't know if he would ever realize how many of the people she lied about what they did.
Oh yeah, no, probably not. He's going based off of the fact that this is the information he's given.
He becomes known as a terrifying beast and a final judgment to people outside of Castle Ravenloft for years to come. For a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he never knows that. Maybe he doesn't care. He's well employed, he's kept, and he's cared for. Anastrasya was given a gift by the Countess, an opportunity to experience what it was like to break somebody this way from the other side. She never quite succeeds, but she does have her fun. Is there anything else you'd like to add, or shall we end here?
I think that's where it ends. I think it does just end with her either getting tired of him or them finally having that final confrontation between him and Anastrasya over, like, the one moral line he wouldn't cross, or just he looked at her dumb.
Yeah.
Could be anything.
Can't imagine anything more gratifying to her than him turning on her and trying to kill her, and her barely ending him and getting away within an inch of her life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to kill your character off, but I'm just saying I think that would bring her great joy.
Mm-hmm. And she'd be absolutely fucking turned on by the whole ordeal.
Oh yeah, no, that's what she's going for.
It would be the final thing where it's just like, you've pissed me off finally, and then this would be the hate sex, for lack of a better description.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah.
And then there we go.
Yeah.
Here is this reading. Let us transition now to Psalm 118. How are you feeling about this session?
It's good. I had a lot of fun. I was wondering again how this was even going to play out with Casper of all characters,
Mm-hmm.
and I was not expecting him to go that easily into compliance. But if he doesn't have anybody else to, like, I suppose gauge that moral compass for, like, he will just follow. And I did kind of make that, like, when you, like, build characters, you can do the D&D flaws and whatever traits thing, whatever. One of his flaws or traits or whatever really is just, like, he will follow whatever the crew says, even if, like, they are objectively wrong.
Yeah.
His loyalties with the crew. And this still applies. His crew is now Anastrasya, which is terrible.
The worst. Absolutely the worst. Just a poor employment decision all around.
Absolutely.
Jesus. Do you feel that this met your requirements and desires for a romantic date?
Define romantic.
Let me phrase it a different way. Did you get what you wanted out of this from when you signed up?
I think...
Sorry, your microphone's cutting off a little bit. Can you speak up?
Yeah, so what I get out of these is I enjoy role-playing with you, and I enjoy telling a story. And with these romantic sessions, it could vary between something very like sweet,
Mhm.
obviously whatever the hell this was.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I'm getting into when I go into these. So I believe yes, I did get what I wanted, which was role playing with you
Uh-huh.
in a interesting story that has romantic undertones,
Yes.
and letting it go from wherever it goes there.
I really wanted it to with Anastrasya, because I don't think there's a making love with Anastrasya. That's
Oh,
not
yeah,
a thing.
no.
So what I just wanted was, in my head, a completely on paper asexual storyline with ridiculous amounts of kinky subtext was what I wanted to shoot for.
Oh yeah,
And that was
that
it.
definitely that you succeeded. That absolutely is what is this situation.
Yeah. So I know you got cut out there. The needle I was trying to thread was nothing happens here, but in the alternate timeline, Tumblr fan art is being taken down by the mods as quickly as it's being put up of this session. That's what I was going for.
Yes, I think you absolutely did succeed in the description you gave, especially with like the asexual romance essentially, but so heavily kinky.
Yeah. She got him on a leash. They definitely hooked up once or twice. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Was it a poor life decision? Probably, but the whole thing is a poor life decision.
The whole thing is a poor life decision. Is anything describing Anastrasya. I love this. Do I have your permission to upload this share list with anybody on the Discord, things like that?
Yeah.
Thyme, thank you very much. Since this will be uploaded, is there anything you want to say to anybody listening or anything before we head out?
I don't think so. I mean, just don't accept employment opportunities from Anastrasya.
Mm-hmm.
She will not compensate you appropriately. Also, she's a scab.
Also, she's a scab. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And that's perfect. All right. Thank you so much. I'm gonna stop the recording. I will talk to you some more in a minute, but I will see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.